Happy Information Wednesday, Chalyce McQueen here. Per my teaser, I'm going to talk about business insurance today. There is hundreds and hundreds of businesses started on a daily basis, which is wonderful, but did you know that 66% of these businesses will fail in their first year? And a large contributing factor to these businesses failing is them not having insurance. So I'm going to go over 6 reasons why insurance is beneficial for you, and also a little that will happen in the event that you don't have a certain kind of insurance. I know when you start a business, your finances are definitely tight, and every penny is allocated somewhere. And a lot of people forego insurance for that reason. However, there are so many reasons why you need to have insurance beyond just the protection. There is a state law mandatory that you're required to have workers' compensation. I'm going to get into that a little bit more detail here in a minute. But there are so many different types of business insurance that you need. There could be personal liability, general liability, everybody needs for sure. An umbrella policy, workers' compensation, group insurance, disability, you name it. All of these are beneficial to you as a business owner and for the success of your business development and growth. Before I hop into the 6 reasons why you need to have business insurance, I do urge everybody to make sure that when they hire a vendor, a contractor, etc., whether it's for your business or personally, that you verify they have insurance. I bet you the people that we use on a day-to-day basis with our household, maintaining our properties, handyman, landscapers, pool vendors, etc. I guarantee if you were to survey them, a majority of them would not have insurance, which does not leave you as a consumer in a good situation, nor you as a business owner, meaning you pool vendors, landscapers, handymen, etc. out there that are operating a business without insurance does not leave you in a good situation. I'm going to go over that now. So number 1 on our list, I'm going to talk about general liability, which is the main insurance that everybody needs regardless of what you do. What general liability is going to do is basically reduce your financial risk. So whether you have damage to your customer's property, someone hurt themselves, etc., all of that will be covered under general liability. Of course, depending on what kind of business you operate and your infrastructure, there's other endorsements that will go underneath general liability, such as if you're a mechanic, you'll have garage keepers. If you own and operate a restaurant, you might have a liquor endorsement, etc. But that's my job as your agent to go through what the intention of your business is, how it's currently operating, and what your intention for the future is to make sure that you have the proper coverage and the protection you need. The second benefit to having insurance is property protection. What that means as a business owner, you have maybe your location, maybe you work out of your home, a portion of your home will be separately insured also by your business policy. Your personal property for business, whether it's computers, specialized tools, etc., all of that will be covered as well. Yes, some, and I'm going to use that word some, homeowners policies do have a business property endorsement on your insurance. However, this coverage typically is very small and minute. For example, I think Farmers offers $2,500 in business property, which computers these days are a couple grand. If you have any tools, those are expensive. Just do not rely on your own homeowner's policy to encompass coverage for your business property. Number 3, employee care. And this is where that workers' compensation comes into play. As I mentioned many times, in Arizona, it is a law that you're required to have workers' compensation. And it's 1 employee or more, it doesn't matter how many you have. If you even have 1, this law is speaking to you and you're required to have it. What happens if you don't have workers' compensation? On a legal standpoint, you will have a Class 6 felony, which that will implicate you in many ways. Number 1, if you ever want to get a business loan, that will haunt you, professional license, you can forget about it, etc. Not to mention the liability of having an employee that can get hurt on the job or damage other people's properties, could die, etc. What's going to happen if you don't have workers' compensation? They're going to come after you. You'll be lucky if they just bankrupt your company and not foreclose on your house, garnish your wages for future and forever. It's so important to have on workers' compensation. A lot of people do try to forego this insurance because they think it's expensive, and it can absolutely be expensive if you don't have an agent on your side that knows what he or she is doing and does not do quarterly check-ins. As a business, our as a business owner, it's constantly evolving with how many employees we have, whether they are leaving the company or coming, and our payroll's ever changing. So it's important to make sure you're constantly checking in with your agent to make sure you're not overpaying for workers' compensation, because workers' compensation, you are forecasting your next 12 months and reporting that in advance. And then the next year you get audited for that previous 12 months. And that's how we determine whether or not that you reported the proper payroll. Did you pay too much? Did you pay too little, etc.? And for budget purposes, having an agent like me doing those check-ins with you is going to save you a whole lot of money in the long run. Another little fact for you, even if our family works for us, unless they're officers or members of our business, we are required to have workers' compensation on them. Family do sue family. I've seen it many times. Number 4 on our list, I'm talking about asset protection from disasters. This is where professional liability comes in. If you provide a service to somebody, making sure you have professional liability, which is another added coverage for you to make sure that you have protection in the event that you were to harm a client or customer of yours. Also, in the event of a disaster, whether it was a physical, weather-related disaster, or something that was outside of your control, there is an endorsement called business interruption, which means in the event that your business is interrupted, you have funds from your insurance company to pay out to get you back into operation ASAP, including funds for your employees. Number 5 is safeguarding our assets. This both works professionally and personally. As a business owner, we do have an increased exposure to risk and harm with dealing with our customers, etc. So in the event that you were sued and a judgment was awarded, you're not going to lose your personal property that you've worked so hard to build, and you're not going to bankrupt your business because you'll have insurance step in and take care of that judgment. Another great way to make sure that we have the adequate protection as a business owner is going a step further and doing an umbrella policy. That way, in the event that your standard limits do not cover the judgment or lawsuit, that you do have another hand to pay out, and that's your umbrella policy and not your own. Number 6 on our list is just giving us confidence and manageable growth for our future. When we start a business, our business plan will constantly evolve as our business grows and changes direction, and making sure you have the insurance on your side that's going to handle your growth and make sure you have the adequate protection for your business property, your location, your customers, and of course, your employees and yourself. It's so important that you have an agent on your side that understands business insurance and what it means to be a business owner. I am a small business owner, and Farmers Insurance is the #1 business insurance in the nation. So you're definitely in good hands. Just to recap, there's so many reasons why you need to have insurance for your company and workers' compensation if you have 1 or more employees. And why choose Farmers? Like I said, we are the #1 small business insurance company in our nation, and we have endorsements that others do not. For example, we have a non-negligence clause, which means even if your company, your employee, or something happened that was done via negligence, we will still provide coverage and protection for you, which is unheard of. In fact, every other policy will have a negligence exclusion saying if you are found negligent, no coverage for you. Also, we have all of these amazing hotlines for you to call as a business owner to get advice on risk management, HR, things of that nature, just to keep you up and running and giving you some added resources. And of course, you have me on your side who also is a small business owner, so I understand the bottom line matters. So let me put hundreds back in your wallet. Remember to ask yourself, are you protected? Any questions on today? As I was saying, any questions on today's conversation, you can always email me at cmcqueen@farmersagent.com or call me at 602-525-5665. We'll see you next week.